Maybe he won't. Like, this team has gone even in the past, you know, it's not just like cut and dry. However, if GPK gets a
Prepare
really good
for battle.
start, I think he might be the win condition for this team. You have Bloodseeker, who's going to provide a lot of early team, like early fighting ability. Like, he can get involved, he can do things, but GPK might be the one that they want to build with this physical damage build. Say they get a Dragon Lance, she can then siege the towers despite all of this depush from Mind Games. Just yeah, it's hard. Like, Sniper is designed and usually picked just to counter long range heroes.
Yeah.
Like, when you see a Drow, Medusa, whatever, you're like, okay, Sniper. He outranges them. He doesn't have to trade with them.
Then your
So
main priority is just protecting him.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see which way GPK goes, because I can definitely see the build up range and try and become a sniper yourself. But I could also see that magic damage build with like a blink on GPK, right, where he just jumps on the sniper and blows him up. He's pretty squishy. Now, pre-BKB, he could just get demolished by this Lina. And same thing with the DP as well. Lina was very often seen as the hard counter to the Death Prophet. You know, in the mid lane and through the game several years ago. Might not be the same nowadays. But if you can blow up the DP before or like just after she gets off Exorcism, she's just completely removed from the game. And it's your mid laner, not your off laner here. So that's pretty important to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have just like posed another reason why I feel like there should be right-click build on Lina to get that like Skadi and stuff, and help deal with the DP.
Slow her down, stop the heals. Bounty runes, 2 apiece. A little bit different this time though. Right-hand side, invade from outsiders. Nice to see Mind Games realizing that they had the opening to go up into that top jungle and take it. So GPK up against Ironcrad in that mid lane. Lina DP. We'll see how that one goes in a couple of minutes. You know, it's always first wave. Get those range creeps, secure those. Down the bottom, Sniper. Paired up with that Marcy, like you said. So they've got the Dispose back into Shrapnel. Of course, that rebound to be able to reposition Bignum to move forward.
It is still Bignum playing it. It's just a nice heads up to lane swap. Makes their lanes much nicer. They're actually, like, generally you see pos 4s being, like, melee pos 4s being the ones that cut the waves, but Yamatis is doing it on Skyroth because they're just so aware of this level 2 timing on Mind Games where they are just a total threat. I think Outsider's lane, North lane is just way weaker. I'm not sure if they hit a point where they're stronger. Maybe if they can get the 2 balls going and they're like level 5 on Beastmaster, so they're super strong, and like catch out Bignum. But even then, he can just rebound off of Sniper or a Creep Wave and get away. It's like, it just is a little bit awkward. They'd have to do a lot of trading to like whittle them down and then just make it go.
Yeah, and it is boots first on the Skywrath as well, right? He's very, very speedy, just to try and run away from Shrapnel and rebound and all that stuff. And up in that top lane, we've got ourselves our Ramses Bloodseeker. So he's with an Ogre, double melee lane against an Underlord and a Rubik. So Hakuda has got his work cut out for him just to try and trade with Slayer, make sure that there's no stacks or pulls being made up by the Rubik. Get as much damage as you can with this newly buffed up Ogre with his right clicks.
See, the Rubik went for stats to try and trade nicely, which is obviously one idea. I really liked Yamcha's boots, just because it's not even just for pulling, but the problem with Marcy is like the ability to be thrown back if you ever get into melee range of her. So just making sure that he has the move speed to always stay out of that kind of threat was a really heads up play. Rubik not gonna make the same approach. He just feels like he wants to sit on the lane with Underlord and just trade and hit, help deny. Like with the damage from the Atrophy Aura on Underlord plus Rubik's like minus damage with Fade Bolt, I think like their big goal should be to control CS in this lane.
That damage reduction is pretty nutty.
Yeah.
Ramses still doing well for himself though. Just slightly ahead of that Underlord. Hakuda doing a good job, and he's already dewarded this small camp in behind himself. GPK, as always, playing aggressively under that tier 1, trying to keep Ironcrad away. Water runes already having been grabbed up, 1 apiece. These bottles now empty. Both mid laners screaming for their supports to go feed, come TP mid and refill my bottle, please.
This is my favorite part of watching these games is definitely seeing how many supports come to mid, depending on how hard GPK owns the enemy mid.
So, Yamich, they're disposing to Shrapnel, and your first blood's there for Dino.
Happens. This is the threat. This is the scary thing. You buy boots to stay away from Marcy, but Rebound is always not going to care about that at all.
And get straight on top of you. It's kind of, it's an expected one, right? You know, you called it out. We know it. The players know it. That's gonna happen. It's kind of, as long as DM doesn't die, he's not the one losing out on the experience and the gold, then it's okay. But whenever the Scarith Mage is out of lane, you can see DM here has to play very tentatively away from the creep wave, because Sniper, he offers a lot of damage. You know, level 3. He's got 2 shrapnels. He's got headshot. It looks like Big Num's still chasing Yamich around.
I mean, I've seen in the past this DM just recovering and like being left to solo lane. Like if Yamich was to leave and go help mid, go help top, I wouldn't entirely be against it. I've watched other players as well, like Zai. You see him play sacrificial so much. He will just go and farm like the triangle hard camp just to try and recover, and just play like that instead, and just say, okay, well my game's kind of, you know, shit. It's fine.
Well, Hakuda also inside all these big AoE circles, lifted back into the Firestorm. Ramsey's trying to trade hits there as well into this Underlord with 40 bonus damage. Not ideal for him. And he's got a pretty full stick. Trying to CS under the Firestorm and the Fade Bolt. It's really irritating here for outsiders in that top lane. Like Ramsey's toying with death at this point.
It's scary. You want to sit in the lane and last it to get your healing from the thirst. He's maxing his thirst, but it's so hard.
Yeah, and if this bottom lane isn't putting pressure on the sniper either, right? So, oh, mid lane though, the DP in a lot of trouble. Now GPK gets sucked back by the Spirit Siphons, and the table's turning maybe. Aincrad, he's got a couple of stick charges. I don't know if he can finish the job though. Both of them trading blows very effectively.
That healing's nutty. Like that's the change on the Siphon showing off.
The flat damage. Ramsey's chasing back BB, so at least Outsiders able to do something in that top lane to get past all of that onslaught.
I'm surprised. I think BB needs his face boost or something so he can sit in the lane better. Or maybe he'll go treads actually. It kind of depends on what you want. They're coming mid now for 6-minute runes on supports. Like both heroes are gonna want it. Like Coda angling. He only has enough for 1 spell, and he hasn't even maxed Fire Blast. Might get enough for an ignite.
Try and chuck the ignite at them. I mean, Big Num's also moving in towards mid. Aincrad's DP spots out Yamich. Gets off the Spirit Siphon before the silence lands. They throw Laguna Blade in, but he's got raindrops, stick charges, and GPK needed that Light Strike array just to slip away from Big Num. He's looking for the dispose, but now with Slayer here, it looks like Outsider's going to have to give up of any ability to chase. That Courier being killed, though, is a pretty big deal. Boots and Observer Ward removed from Slayer's inventory.
Minecraft's being such an annoyance as this DP. I think it must be so frustrating for GPK to just keep hitting him, and then like a single Siphon is just getting him back to full health.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just died again. It's max shrapnel.
Max shrapnel rebound. Not what you wanted. But it's the fact that Aincrad brought up these raindrops. Still has a fairy fire. He's very aware of the turnaround potential with this hero with that heal. You're right.
Yeah, but at the very least, like, he is winning the CS game. So try begging him. Yeah, he's winning the CS battle really hard. Like, he is owning this lane. He's 800 net worth up on Aincrad. The nice he was maxing Spirit Siphon. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
God, there's so much fighting. Sorry, I need to relax. These guys are going crazy.
It's supports dying. Yeah, this is the job, right? Hakuda, the one dying there, so Ramses can live. We've seen Yamich die a couple of times, so the DM can continue farming, gets his level 3 boars, and I think Helm is now being delivered to him as well. So it's starting to hit our timings, but that Laguna Blade rotating in from GPK, move straight up to top to kill off BB. That's important for Ramses. That's the move we were talking about pre-game during the draft, that GPK is so able to alleviate that pressure from his other core heroes. As they're going in a bottom lane, Sheepo, they're killing off DM here. Headshots landing. Big Num's already spent his stun, so DM with a nice TP home.
It's nice, but it means you're out of the lane. I'm honestly surprised by how well DM is doing, honestly.
Or DP?
Oh god.
Maybe this time, Aincrad, the heals. Oh my god, no way is he allowed to get away with this. Big Num jumps in with a rebound and tossed back. GPK destroyed by the Ghost and the Spirit Siphon and getting them tips before he's even died.
That heal is illegal. It's actually just illegal. There's no way. He's just going up to full. I was thinking, okay, you've had a terrible lane. Maybe just max your Crypt Swarm and recover with that. No, it doesn't matter. He actually can just man fight Alina.
Dire structures are fortified.
and win without problem. Oh, this new Spirit Siphon is just wacky.
Yeah, I need some kind of response from outsiders. So DM brings his Centaur into mid. Chain stun the Marcy, let GPK get the kill. Lina TP's in just to snipe it. And it does look like GPK is going to go that I guess regular route that we're used to seeing. The BKB, the travels, then across the your Skadi, Daedalus, Shivers, whatever you want to go for.
Makes sense to me. I mean, talking quickly on the new patch, we do see a Falcon Blade on GPK. Just seems to be the item of the patch. A lot more heroes buying it, seeing it a little bit on some off like Mars's as well. Strength heroes looking for bracer alternatives. To touch lightly on the new patch as well, I'm talking about the Death Prophet, but if you aren't familiar with the patch and the changes that happen, Spirit Siphon, it used to do percentage damage, therefore it was very effective against tanky heroes, but they changed it to a flat damage. So now, playing against Alina, with lower health pool, it's now doing just like a lot of damage to someone like her, and is why you're seeing so much heal coming out.
Yeah. Just burst heal straight back up. You pair that with a full wand, and you really are healing like 600 health or something in a matter of seconds.
I think they even buffed the damage numbers on it in the B patch.
DPS increased what by 5 per level? No, even 10 per level on some. 20 per level at the end. Gee, yeah. When you get level 4 Spirit Siphon's massively buffed actually.
It's really good right now, and it makes us just that much more terrifying to squishier heroes, including supports.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, Sniper's had a pretty quiet time these past couple of minutes. He's up at the top of the net worth board now, trying to sit back in the pocket in that bottom jungle, protected by his DP and Marcy. Akuda doing a very good job just scouting forward. He's the recon man. The Ogre going to dive under tier 1 to try and run away. And I'll chase him down and defend their objective, because that was a catapult wave coming into that bottom lane, something that outsiders were looking to try and levy to their advantage.
A nice rotation. This is, I think, Aincrad's first. Obviously, GPK did that earlier rotation top to kill BB. He's actually come again now on a smoke. I think seeing the hero commitment to bot makes him confident.
Yeah, C3 heroes bot, move into top. Concussive shot, landing onto the Marcy though, and she just goes in. Rebound unleashed onto GPK. Good blood right though. Silences the Rubik to stop any counter initiation, and Yamich chucks the Mystic Flare in there towards them, but Ramses did get dragged back into that firestorm as Dino, the one able to TP top, because he was already set up bottom. He didn't need to maneuver, so able to react.
This is breathing space for DM. They'll finally get this tower bot. They'll trade top, hopefully. I don't really see a world where outsiders can defend top. But they're happy with this. I mean, DM, we talked about how hard his lane was, but really Skyrock tanked pretty much all the deaths. DM has just been farming up slowly. He's got his helm. He's honestly having a perfectly good Beastmaster game. And now with this tower going down, he's going to have way more space to just farm the jungle, farm the lane bot with his creeps, and take that map space away from mind games. I'm just going to say they probably should then look maybe to use Raw to swing on mid and pressure that tower, just hit it with creeps or what have you. They'll just want to whittle this tower down soon at some point when they feel strong enough to do so. And when they have that opened up, it just makes Outsiders game a little, like, they just have more breathing room. They feel good.
It's just a very, very simple kind of move to execute. What's the plan for mind games then? Can they do a similar thing? Because it doesn't feel like Underlord is that hero that can just go sit top and farm jungle at the same time. He's going to be holding the wave bottom. What do the other four from MG do?
Thinking that they'll just want to let, like, Sniper wants to farm primarily. We saw how, like, a lifestealer with an armlet could get really involved. Goodbye, rest in peace, Ogre.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah, it's kind of the duty of the team that supports in the DP to make moves, to smoke and get plays. You probably don't want to let Outsiders be farming like across the map the way they are right now. Look at how spread out they are. Someone like Skyrock should never be able to show his face top without dying. Whether you play like a Marcy top, setting up with your sniper, or whether you just smoke or make a play or just run somewhere and take like an area of control. You just want to limit Outsiders farming space while letting Sniper just farm up really hard, because he's your win condition. They don't have catch for him. There's a chance, like, one of the big nice things is where Outsiders are going to be playing, like, generally. At the start of every new minute, Ramses is probably going to be farming a triangle. just in general, Beastmaster's probably going to be playing bot, like in your jungle. Like that's his farming space. That's where he wants to be. So with this 2 information, it means that you can make like pretty good smoke rotations. Like you know they're going to be down there, so you know going top is safe. Like that's probably the idea they're functioning on right now.
Yeah, and as Raging, they want to be playing up that top side, get some vision in that jungle. Unfortunately, they've just missed the Lina. If they were even 30 seconds earlier, they would have found this GPK Lina as she was trying to farm her BKB. Currently 400 gold away from it. The straight up BKB rush after the Falcon Blade. So definitely going for this earlier timing, but they will still capture. GPK going for the extra large camp, going to get drained of her life. They even bring the portal in from the Underlord to make sure there's no recourse from outsiders to turn around on it. And this should turn into a tier 1 mid as well. So that opens up that triangle and even easier ability to go and aggressively move towards Ramses now.
Good play. Secures your mid tower. And this will make it harder for outsiders to then take their mid tower in response. I think DM recognizes that it's probably hard to take mid just because of how easy it is for mindgames to collapse on that area. So he's just been like pressuring bot instead.
I'm gonna keep going on that tier 2. It looks like outsiders going to try and clear their jungle. No more sentries on the ogre. He's already placed one, expecting a ward to be a little deeper. Even gonna go smoke. Where's he heading? Triangle. Spot the sniper.
All these wants.
Where are you? I mean, Slayer's now the hero up top, just trying to soft shove that wave. Oh, he's got Dragon Slave actually stolen. Dragon Slave Fade Bolt, very easily clearing out that wave.
That's really nice. GBK has just finished his BKB. I'm trying to think of the timings for outsiders because, like, I can feel the frustration of DM. He wants to push in the bot tier 2, but Underlord's just sitting in front of it, and he knows he can't go mid because to pressure there, you might go on a ward, you might get killed by Marcy. Like, they're trying to hide off the map on mind games, and if you push this mid tower, then suddenly like mind games will show up. They try and kill you. Like they're much more aggressive, and it's much easier for them. So I think they're just trying to eke out as much farm as they can right now until Bloodseeker feels comfortable fighting. He also needs a BKB.
Yeah, a little bit of a mismatch in timing there, but bottom Big Num. Oh, he doesn't see it now. He does. Hello, DM. Can we grab him with the dispose? He's gonna roar the Marcy, but the root's there. BB has this rod of Atos to catch DM. They'll even throw the unleash in there for good measure. Kill him off and stop that push coming in on that tier 2 bottom.
Yeah, this feels like one of those slow games to me. You know, the kind where it's like, okay, we have our BKBs, but we're still gonna wait for our good fight, you know?
Yeah.
And then another 10 minutes pass.
It's like Lena's like, I've got my BKB, I'm kind of ready, but I'll use it if they go on me. Ramsey's saying, I need my BKB. DM thinking about, you know, his Helm of the Overlord and trying to wait for that. But it definitely felt like one of the stories that you were spinning earlier on about this distribution of farm. We did have a point where Sniper, yes, he's at the top, but the next 3 were all outsiders heroes. And now I feel like Mind Games have been doing a pretty good job of breaking the rhythm and routine of outsiders with these little moves. And another big smoke here. If they can catch a core kill, maybe move into Roshan, puts them in a really solid position for this Sniper just to open up with this Dragonlance, Mom, and almost Deso build. Sniper's pretty huge.
This is definitely the Roche fight smoke for them. Damage.
I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, obliterated. Is that enough to go Roche? You still want to, like, you know, kill a Lina or something, right?
I think you might be okay with it, just because Beastmaster's showing on bot wave. Obviously it sucks because you don't have control of the outpost, so they do have like wasted TP, but you have a good ward on this cliff. I don't think like there's a way for the outsiders to set up. This is the issue, right? They don't have any team fighting. Like, it's hard for them. They can't push towers, they don't have team fight, they're lacking a lot in their draft.
Radiant's top tower.
And we both like this Mind Games draft, and it's working out so far. I honestly, I'm still not experienced with this sidekick. Every time I see it, I am surprised. Like how much it gives you. You know, on a lone druid, on a lifesteal damage, everything. Like the Sniper with sidekicks doing, you know, 200 damage a hit.
Yeah, it's insane. It's actually so wild. I thought you would be maxing rebound now that they put kind of everything on it, but everyone's just adapting and just going psychic max instead, and Because in the previous iteration of Marcy, I think you were maxing dispose and sidekick and leaving 1 point rebound, or that was one build you could do.
Pretty much.
Hunting on outsiders or what?
Yeah, I mean, they're pushing mid with the Ancient Creep and the Lina from long range. Glyph is there for mind games, though, but they are under this dire ward that Hakata got down a couple of minutes ago. So outsiders with full vision of where they're coming from. Catching Lina, though, and with that nice little stun, they're going to find GPK. He gets off his BKB, but it's all too late. Marcy does get shredded by Ramses. Trying with his BKB to bring down Einkrad, but when the sniper arrives, the fight is over. And that was Rubik with the Roar, right? Rubik had stolen Roar, caught it onto the GPK Lina.
I didn't catch that. I was looking at the back line.
Yeah, it was.
Dino TP'd in and outsiders were trying to wrap on the tower to kill any TPs there. But it just didn't work for them because they were kind of split in 2 ways.
I heard the roar noise. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there's the roar.
I heard the noise and I was like, wait, it's early morning. Is my brain playing tricks on me? No. Rubik had that stolen roar, I guess, from the kill down bottom, right? Where DM used it on the Marcy. Rubik stole it.
I guess, yeah. I just didn't catch that. I wasn't watching him. But yeah, no, that was a great roar. Nice roar. They got the mid tower at the very least. You can be happy that that tower's finally down. It did take a concerted 5-man effort, but there's still an Aegis at play. They're going for a tier 2 tower now. It looks like the outsiders are going to try and force the issue bot. It just means that mind games either have to give up their presence top, or they can just fully commit down bot and try and take a fight. They also have a little bit of initiation issues, really, because the Marcy's not going for a blink. She's going for that BKB build we talked about.
It's kind of nice that this Underlord did go for that Atos, just to try and make up for that fact, so he can catch people when they're not BKB'd up. And he's scouted under this Hawk. DM trying to slide into this jungle. Mystic Flare with the Roar on him. It's a pretty tanky Underlord, though, and it doesn't look like he's going to die anytime soon. Einkrad TP's in to kill off Yamich, but doesn't find him. So they do rotate quite a few numbers down bottom to defend the tower. Objective defended, that's for sure.
You're seeing a little bit of result of Outsiders' rough game. Just they're not having any real initiation or ways to roll people. Yamich doesn't have levels from getting kills. He's not level 2 in his ult, so that Underlord just lives. It's only level 1, and Underlord's so tanky. Strength treads, raindrop, ogre, strength from Rod of Atos. He's a hard boy to kill.
He is, and he's looking for GPK. There's a lot of heroes up here wanting the Lina. GPK found a single tree he can hide behind, turns around and fights into Bignum with a Laguna Blade, and then goes and TP's home. Oh my god! That's gonna be one of the, it's gonna be one of the wildest things. Bignum's like, I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna find. Oh guys, I'm dead.
What a Chad. Honestly, it's your 8-second BKB. But I'm okay with it, because they're just not using this BKB on anything else. You might as well get your kill.
Yeah, just use it. Because it kind of slows down mind games here, who would love to use the remaining... I guess they've got 1 minute left, but it would have been like a minute and a half of this Aegis to get outpost, move into tier 2 mid, plant themselves in that top jungle. But instead, they're kind of falling back, defending the sniper in his own ancient camp. And it gives a lot of room for outsiders to push out bot and play into their vision. 2 dire wards, 1 in that mid lane, 1 down in the bottom jungle. Gives them quite a bit of room here.
Beastmaster just received his blink. I don't know if they want to smoke with it. This is the build Beastmasters go I've seen or noticed when the game is quite hard. Just because if you can get that roar off, it's like you're having impact.
Especially against the sniper. Just jump the sniper.
Yeah.
Throw everything in onto him.
Outsiders had a ward, I think, that spotted that smoke.
Yeah, they feel something's coming. They just watch every dire hero, right? They're moving back behind tier 2s, 3 of them in the base, and Ogre, even TPing all the way back home. And I'll go for a smoke themselves. They're waiting for DM to regroup with the team. Blinks across. And they'll move into position. Again, it's about playing into that ward coverage. They've got 3 observers. They don't see anyone just yet, but they've got a pretty good idea of where they're heading as they do look to grab that outpost back. through the river we head. GPK blinks ahead, straight on the sniper. The roar is there, but the lift save. Telekinesis keeping Dino alive, even through the Mystic Flare. He turns to fight. GPK shredded by the physical damage, but Ramses, with DM, able to get a trade back onto the sniper at least. As Aincrad will finish off the Ogre. But Outsiders, it looks like they got what they came for. Trading GPK for the sniper is something they're willing to take.
Oh my god. This trade of lives, the sniper needs items. That's what I'm reading from it, basically. He's trying to go for Lincolns, and I'm kind of scared for that item progression, because whilst obviously it's needed for the roar, Ramses has got like a halberd, a rupture. Oh my god, they're just going for him.
Yeah, trying to chase into Ramses. And go portal forward into triangle. This tier 1 bottom being still alive, though, does make it a little more problematic. But Big Num, Aincrad, all TPing out, and knowing there aren't that many stuns from Outsiders that could catch them.
Yeah, so that was a move. I'm really surprised they all got out alive. But yeah, I was saying Sniper like is going for Lincolns, but they have a lot of Lincoln's breakers, and like Ramsey's having halberd and wanting to rupture, and then like the roar. I definitely feel like they can get these off, even if he has the Lincolns. Nice one, GPK. More support abuse.
Yeah, GPK, the support assassin. See someone, he kills them.
Yeah.
Is this going to be another one of those? Okay, never mind. He buys the boots of travel. We had that game the other day, right, where someone was like, I need this item, that item. Buy the shard, buy the ags, buy the octarine.
100 things before boots of travel, yeah.
Yeah, putting a little more emphasis on that map control. So now GPK can actually be involved with the Beastmaster, no matter where DM is.
They have like relatively nice save ideas on mind games for Sniper. Like the Rubik shot was really nice, lifting and pulling him back, and then Bignum able to rebound him, give him that extra bit of move speed. But...
See, like this game state right now is something that I will, I don't know, forever be confused by, because it feels like mind games are winning. It feels like mind games have had the upper hand. But just that one fight bot where they trade Lina for Sniper has allowed Ramses to get to the top of the net worth. Lina's still getting support kills. She's second place, and Sniper DP have both dropped pretty far. Is this the Beastmaster effect where DM is constantly pushing bot lane, forcing the Radiant to react so they're on the back foot? Or what's happening?
Oh god. Now I have to like collect 26 minutes worth of gameplay in my mind and trying to tell you a story.
Open the neurons, open the brains.
I'm feeling the fact that the sniper's kind of, I mean, he's not underfarmed, but it feels like he needs a lot of big items to be able to fight, and Outsiders outplayed them there. Like, that is a big thing. They were not winning, but that, like, having the ward show the smoke means that they know that mind game smoke will now break or like end before their own. That's why they like group up and do it. And then they go in knowing that mind games are going to be the one that probably shows on their vision. They have hawks, they have wards, they have like wards that have been placed and wards that they can put down, and that way they just like see everyone and they know what targets they want to go on.
No, that's a good point.
Oh god, Lina just boosted travel onto a ball that expired. That's so sad.
Oh no.
I think they wanted to take a fight there.
Stuck down bottom. But that's a good way of looking at it, because we have a similar kind of concept when it comes to, and it doesn't happen much nowadays, but the old lane swapping, where the first mover is at a disadvantage. The person who reacts has an advantage. Because usually in Dota we think about the vision, the initiation, whoever gets the jump and knows which target they're going on has the advantage in a team fight. But there are a lot of scenarios where if you're actually the one to react and being able to be that second mover, the second wave of jump, you actually do get the upper hand.
It definitely worked for them there. Being able to see and find Sniper was probably the biggest aspect of that. Yeah. The worst fight that Outsiders can take is one where Sniper is sitting comfortably back behind his team and is able to just hit and kill everyone. Because in that fight, because Outsiders were the ones that jumped, it meant that they could, like, they saw Sniper, they had their blinks, they blink raw him, he gets thrown back, but Bloodseeker now with like all this move speed from the fight breaking out and everyone clashing, he just runs and finishes the job. He has a BKB, Sniper doesn't. Sniper has no BKB, no Lincolns in that fight. There's literally nothing he can do to defend himself. The halberd meant that he couldn't fight back, and then it's just like whatever. Because he had the sidekick on him, and for like a couple hits, he was just like man fighting pretty happily. But the halberd just made it impossible to finish the job. He needs so many items.
He really does. Oh, there's smoke portaling up top. GPK and Yamich turn around with a massive burst of magic damage. Sniper's still on the low ground as they do throw the Rupture in towards the DP, and Einkran has to self-fuels, try and defend himself, but Ramses, no problems there whatsoever. DM's also found an opening onto Big Num, and would you believe it, Roshan has just respawned.
Wonderful. That's almost as good as the DD outside road.
4 hero kills. Outsiders find their avenue back into the game, and now it feels like this is Outsiders' one to lose. What's going to stop them? They've got Aegis up on Ramses. He's got his Aghanim shard, and he's ready to go.
That was insane. That was like a crazy move. The portal just into the middle of Lina with an Underlord Rubik only, like not even like a core hero. They don't have stuns. She's just gonna BKB and kill you. And now we see Skyroth having his 12, so his ult actually did do a lot of damage, and Underlord just disappeared.
Yeah. And Sniper wasn't really in position to do too much damage. When he did get clicks in, it looked like Skyroth was gonna die, but Dino unable to keep tabs on his target.
I wonder if this Deso was a mistake, Gary. What do you think about it? Because usually you see like a Mjolnir or something, and like you just play into attack speed, and like then you can go stuff like the Skadi or whatever have you.
Yeah, I really don't know. It definitely was like an unusual pickup because he already had like the Mom and the Deso and the Dragonlance, right? And it always feel like Deso is kind of one of those items where you know first or second item it, or you don't at all, because you want to build up those stacks, you want it earlier. Yeah, I really don't know. What's the reason he's not going BKB here? Like, I understand the Lincolns, but if that Deso was the majority of a BKB, would you feel better about it?
Not sure.
Because you're still going to get ruptured, roared, I guess.
Yes. They have so many BKB piercing abilities. Obviously, like what we praised the draft for in the draft was the fact that they didn't have jump for the Sniper. So like, you know, if you take an ideal of how their fight should be going and how they want to fight and play, Sniper shouldn't have to worry about BKB piercing, BKB, like, you know, magic spells. He should only care about this Rupture from long range or a Blink Roar, and I think that's what the Lincolns is for, and that makes sense to me. I definitely don't think he can go for a BKB now. I think even if he had the BKB, it wouldn't allow them to win a fight. I think he does just need damage carry items.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, back into the Silver Edge now. Dire scanning doesn't clip on anyone, but oh, they've caught a glimpse of Einkran. They see the DP, the Hurricane pushes him back in towards them with the Rupture on him, and they roar up the Rubik in the back as well, focusing multiple targets. But Einkran Spirit Siphoning, that won't be enough as the speedy Ramses charges into their midst, kills off 3. And was that Hurricane, did DM steal it and use the Whirlwind, or?
I think the bird just decided it wanted to commit a hate crime against Mind Games.
It was still a neutral creep, right?
Yeah, I barely saw. I did not. I was looking at the health of the thing, and it did not like switch to an allied side. It just horrible animal.
Oh no!
I don't know. What the helm is on a 30-second cooldown. Maybe he stole it.
I watched the replay. It didn't look like it. It was still a neutral.
Okay.
Yeah. Now killing off BB Underlord, GPK finding the opening as they push in 2 lanes at the same time. Oh man.
It's looking rough from Mind Games. When I look at them as a whole, right now especially, like we talked about Marcy and this build, and I talked about in the past how rough she feels when she gets behind. This is an example of when she's behind. The last time we saw Mind Games play, Bignum always had farm, always managed to find the space to get his BKB, and that way he was always a menace in fights. You looked at top, during that fight, he jumps in, he presses ult, and he realized, I can't hit anyone here. I will just die. Like, I'll get stunned. And he's forced to try and back off. The inability to commit basically means that he's just a creep. Like, especially if he misses that rebound at the start of a fight.
Yeah, and from the numbers, it looks like Sniper really struggling to do the damage. I think it was about 8,000 hero damage there, while you've got Bloodseeker and Lina doing, you know, 18k or something along those lines. And much more able to get in on top of people and actually open up on them.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to see how Outsiders have recovered. And when they're playing a lot of these games, you know, sometimes they do have struggles in the laning stage. Sometimes they do have to come back from unfortunate team fights. But they're always treating these games like, you know, they're climbing a mountain. They're not trying to do it all in one go. They don't want to try and win, you know, one massive team fight, completely stomp the game here. doing one little move, set up a base camp, go up the next few kilometers, set up another base camp, get yourself ready to the next item. It's all very step by step.
Yeah, it also does show in this game. Obviously, like, props to Outsiders for the things they are doing right, and they're doing a lot of things right, and they played this game patiently as well. But, like, mind games feel like they're choking. Like, and it's the, like, difference in experience in a team. Like, that pull into the jungle, right? That's just a move that was never going to work out. Like, they just commit in thinking that they can just pop out and throw spells and that they're still strong, and it was a total miscalculation of their own strength. Stuff like, you know, playing your DP's tanking a rupture like that. I think if you're playing aggressively in their jungle and you don't have vision of the enemy, maybe you need a support standing in front of you to break a smoke. It's just like the very small things that are kind of just showing their inexperience as a team. Just like, you know, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. But when you're playing against Outsiders who are like international level contenders, you just have to be that bit sharper.
It's like one of those moves that if it had worked, it would have looked really good. It would have been sick. But your expected value there, if you're looking at this from outside perspective and you're thinking, you know, if you go in there, like you say, against an international team, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get crushed. Yeah. 1 time out of 10, maybe it works. But if that's your percentages, it's not worth trying.
Yeah, you're playing into a team that is very well known for being able to keep up net worth. Like, this whole time, GBK's been super hyper farming. You're popping out, maybe thinking, yeah, we've been winning the game, we've been controlling, so she has no net worth, right? No, she has loads of net worth. She has an assault cuirass and a Daedalus now. Like, oh my god!
Oh, and she has a big num. Kills the Marcy easily, moves in towards the DP. The Yule's there, looks like with the BKB getting away from the Laguna Blade. But Lina also offering a lot of right-click physical damage, yeah, with the AC and the double damage rune. As the rest of Outsiders swinging in from the northern side. Roar the bash, Ramses cancels TP first hit, opens up onto the Underlord, finds another pick-off. And Marcy bought back for this as well. It looked like Mind Games wanted to continue fighting.
This BKB is not looking like a possibility for Bignum.
He's miles away. They will rebound on the sky. That's a pick-off they needed. But Sniper, he's been roared up. Lincoln's got popped. And in comes Hakuda. They don't get the chain stuns and the side kick with a lifesteal. Ramses, though, no problem for him. Bignum, the dieback, dead for 75. And now this game feels like it's out of the hands of Mind Games. A 24k lead has emerged. And for the past, what, 10 minutes or something, and has just been Outsiders every step of the way, winning every skirmish. And every move they make has paid off.
Well, that's the power of such a good team. Oh my god, he's got a Hex now. We're 6-slotted, boys.
Goodness gracious me. Still has space for Ags and Shard.
Yeah.
Plenty more scaling to do.
I love DM's reliability as an offlaner. Just like going into a hard lane, getting farm out of it, you know, way more than he probably should have. Taking that bot tower as soon as they leave and pushing out the lane, forcing reactions bot, like always being a nuisance, always getting pressure, getting his blink, having impact with it. Like, I now need to buy a 4-star. I'm just gonna buy a 4-star. It's not an ideal item, but he needs something to break the Lincolns.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest item available. He gets it. He does his job. You see there, he just roars the sniper, and he's just doing his job. It's not flashy. It's not insane. He's not like, you're not like screaming every time you see him play, but like it is just so reliable and good and nice to have on your team.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's beautiful to see when every player has, you know, a process in mind where they know, if I see target A or B, I do X, Y, Z to them. And every time it is just such crisp, clean execution because they have that pre-made plan of that they're not reacting on the fly, right? You know, we often think about Dota as this kind of reactive game where you're quickly pressing spells to try and figure out what you're doing. If you know what you have to do, it comes naturally as GPK looks to blow up the Underlord, aiming Slayer now as well. Sniper actually able to get some good damage out, protecting himself, backing up, but DM's in, finds the roar opening, and Ramsey shreds through them. Outsiders not giving them a bloody chance.
And that's a bloody GG if I ever seen one, Gary.
It looks like it. I mean, yeah, Roaches is spawning in 10 seconds, but you said it. GG is called. They just tap out.
You don't come back from that. This sniper, honestly, I don't know if it's just the wrong iron build or what, but it was very underwhelming. I thought it felt so good for a while, and towards these later fights, they just have like more mobility and these blinks. Like Lena got a blink.
I think you're right on the head there with farm distribution. Slayer with Aetherland's blink dagger. You know, you don't really expect that from a position quote unquote 5 Rubik, even though they did do the lane swaps. But yeah, a real difficult one there for Mind Games. Even just getting damage out. You know, Sniper in the end, 13,000 damage. You compare that to GPK and Ramses, they're doing 29,000 damage apiece.
Right, they definitely struggled to utilize this sniper in the end.
It felt like they needed like one more hero, like a black hole or a ravage. Like they needed another teamfight ulti to actually